All right, thing on. Test, test, test. Looks like we're streaming. Hey, what's up? This is Dave. This is What's Up Dave, my daily stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet, letting them know what's going on with me and what other silliness happens to be going on here. Today is Wednesday, December 13th, and looks like I'm still clipping on the audio, which is annoying, so I'll adjust that down a little bit. So, yesterday was Groundhog Day Resolutions Review Day number 10. This was the last one of the year on December 12/12. And it took me most of the day to write it, if only because yesterday was a snow day. And I don't know, yesterday it didn't seem all that productive, but there was like some social stuff. There was cleaning up the living room. I think I got up late yesterday. I don't even remember. This is the bad part about not keeping track of stuff. I didn't even fill out my emergent task planner form for yesterday. So I don't remember what happened. It's terrifying. It's scary that how little I remember without taking notes on things. But anyway, what am I going to talk about today? Let me switch to the chat view. The two things that are on my mind really are building the bookshelf so I can clear out that corner over there. Looks like the camera's still back there. You can see if I switch to the aux cam view that over there on the right side, that's the table. I'm taking it apart and I'm going to build the bookshelf there. And then that should free up a whole bunch of space on things like the shelf unit behind me and just like a lot of various clutter. It should be quite an improvement and also make that corner a lot less visually it'll be less visually offensive. Right now there's just this kind of this awkward looking table. It's a bar height table just in the corner, and then the cat litter box is somewhere in front of it. That whole part is a mess. Once I get that cleaned up, then I can figure out what to do with the TV and then where to mount it. Exactly, just where to center it along the wall. Right now it's a little bit weirdly placed. The new bookshelf is about 4 inches narrower than the current table that's there. So that will give me a little bit more leeway to move things around a bit. So that will be one of the major improvements, I think. And then after that, figure out how to do the mounting and then get another IKEA run to buy some cabinet stuff so I can just hide all the stuff that's over there. And then everything should be this space should look pretty good, I think. And I'll consider it like the living room cafe officially open. So that's what's going on with that. But I also got a cornucopia of free scarves. So yesterday I was hanging out with my friend Alex, who has these scarves from a past life and no longer needs them. So I have inherited them. Ugh. So these are the nicest scarves. So I'm not sure what to do with these things. So wearing scarves is a kind of exploration thing, because I like scarves, but I've never worn them before. And these are colors and patterns I haven't chosen myself. They're actually very nice patterns. So it'll be very interesting to see how to combine these with different colors and materials and things like that. And in the meantime, I just like having a whole bunch of scarves. Free scarves! I don't know. I just like them. I like the colors on this one. These actually remind me a little bit of the ETP. So, one thing you can do with color stuff is if you're figuring out color schemes, like a friend of mine in grad school, Bill Colgrove, said that I was asking him once how you pick colors. I had just been coming from an engineering program, and being in an art program was new and frightening. He just said steal them from nature. And so you find colors that you already like, and then you can sample from them. So anyway, I have a huge number of these scarves, and I guess scarves kind of feel like pet cats almost. Actually, let's see if this is how this works. Hey, kitty. I'm gonna grab this kitty and see what this is like. So if I say scarves are like pet cats, and I have scarves and a pet cat, what does that feel like? Where's my microphone? Did I just cover the microphone with scarves and now it doesn't work? Okay, maybe it still does work. So, hey, sweetie. You're not very impressed by this? Okay. So now I can just kind of mold these scarves into a kind of cat shape and put them over here. Excellent. So that's out of the way. One other thing to talk about is, what is happy bubble time? I was talking to Courtney in the chat room earlier today, and she was asking me about, I think she must have seen the happy bubble time videos that are starting to pop up in the YouTube channel listings. And so I had never described happy bubble time outside of a process, or outside of a kind of more of a mechanical description. So what happy bubble time is, well, the reason why I call it happy bubble time is like this mental space, a bubble that I create for myself in which I'm allowed to pursue rabbits down rabbit holes. So instead of feeling guilty about, like, you know, indulging my curiosity and like doing something that's ridiculous, like it's just, that's not work, that's not bringing in revenue, that's not contributing to the bottom line, I just like allow myself to go through and do these things, trusting that something interesting will be the result of that investigation. So an example of this might be, in the past I bought this supermarket pizza dough a long time ago, never having used pizza dough, or not even really being aware that there was such a thing as supermarket pizza dough. So I was just going, what is that? Is that pizza dough? Who buys this? And it must be here all the, there's a lot of it. This must be popular. There must be something to this pizza dough. So I bought it and I just put it out and stuck it in the oven and baked it for an amount of time just to see what would happen. And then what happened, like this big loaf of bread came out, and it was like, huh. And that kind of led to the pizza making experiments I've been doing for the past year and a half. That's happy bubble time. Another example of happy bubble time might be finding a interesting JavaScript library and installing it and just seeing what it does. And then out of that comes some knowledge of a new JavaScript library that may have applications in the future. So it's a form of indulging my curiosity and just seeing where it goes. And you could just call it play, I suppose. I'm allowing myself to play, and play can be very useful in learning new things or getting new ideas, getting unstuck with the old processes and trying something new. And I find that I don't feel like myself unless I indulge in a quantity of happy bubble time. Yeah, and what other people have called puttering. Not quite goofing off, and it's not about consuming either. It's not like you're in a happy bubble watching videos of cats all the time. That's a different kind of happy time. Happy bubble time for me is always a productive exploration, but it's just not guided. And this is overall part of the gathering model of productivity that I'm trying to develop for myself, as opposed to like what I'm calling the factory model, or more of a goal and task oriented model. So if I let my attention wander and investigate whatever happens to pique my interest at a given time, what generally happens is something useful. I learn something, or I make something interesting, and I uncover new avenues of exploration. The challenge is to combine what I learned with enough mental focus and executive decision making and executive function to actually create something that's longer, more complicated, and more sophisticated as a package that can be sold. That's something someone will be willing to pay more than a pittance for. You know, so for example, I might play around with CSS and learn like how to style a new type of grid element. And you know, someone might pay me to do that, but you know, if it's a casual sort of thing, they'll just pay me the going, like, you know, you're like a newbie web designer rate, as opposed to saying like I can engineer this site that has all these different features and so forth and is designed to be maintained. Something more of an agency would offer. You know, that's worth $10,000 versus like, you know, I'll buy you a pizza or like a 6-pack of beer if you make this website for me. So I'm more interested in hitting the 10,000, 15,000 like per website level of things, but you need to have much more things put together for that. And that's the result of not of happy bubble time, but of a different kind of time. That's the job description stuff that I've been trying to develop. So my job is not particularly something like web developer, web designer, interactive developer, or even graphic designer. It's something else. It's something community-based. It's something that's going to be unique to me, which is why I've been working on this job description stuff. And this is a good point to like kind of look at the Groundhog Day Resolutions work. So let me pull up my last post. I just finished it last night, but it wasn't really... Look, this isn't flipping over. That's weird. This is... for some reason the keyboard isn't switching over properly. What's going on with this? Something odd has happened. I'll check into that later. It's like the helper isn't running. What's this top secret control panel? It's a new Discord feature. So anyway, let me look at DEC.13.2017. Latest post. I'll just read this aloud for fun. I'll probably find all sorts of typos from it in it and be unhappy. Maybe I should just read it from the edit post view. Alright. It's the last Groundhog Day Resolution review of the year. Oh, there's already this hole in it. Groundhog Day Resolutions review. Day resolutions. This is the original article. This is what I want to put in here. Time to do a preliminary recap of the year's progress toward my goals. Then, I'm not gonna. I should rewrite the whole thing. For now, let's start by looking at the November report and then follow up with a look at Star Citizen. What? How did that get in there? Look at next year. That must have been a cut and paste thing. I'm not sure where that is very odd. I'm just reviewing if there's any security issues that maybe I am missing out on. If you recall from last month, I had two major realizations that I outlined in the November report that maybe have been related to the frustration I've been feeling. I should rewrite that sentence. My desire for improved connection skill with people had a subtly poisonous aspect. I had been looking for reliable sources of quality interaction, but had subconsciously allowed it to become a wish for affirmation and feedback. Childhood feelings of being an outsider still lingered in the form of an absolutist fallacy, in which I thought that people who were not 100% matches in goals and focus could not connect meaningfully with me because they did not like what I was doing in a heartfelt way. These are unproductive attitudes that put me in a holding pattern of waiting for something good to happen when it was extremely unlikely that conditions would align themselves perfectly. Therefore, I made the following changes to my personality belief matrix. I no longer expect that I'll find the right people to be a catalyst for my own projects. While it would be great if I found such people, it's unlikely to happen, and waiting for it is therefore unproductive. I no longer believe that what I'm doing is so hard to connect with. Instead of looking for incredibly high matches in personality and values, I'll rewrite that. Instead of embrace what connections emerge. And now seeing my connections with people, but less as a source of energy and more as a network of shared excitation. In such a network, each person shares a spark of connection and has the desire to stay in touch with the others. My role within the network is to be excited or to excite others. With my peculiar reactions responses as being the manifestation of my Dave-ness. This is a very difficult post to write because I don't think I had gotten like really to the core of anything. This is review up to this point. With these insights, I am feeling considerably less frustrated and am experiencing a kind of peace. Woohoo! However, I'm still bedeviled by the challenge of getting hard project tasks done. This is the tie-in to the happy bubble time thing I was talking about. Since the last review, I've only spent maybe a couple of days working directly on the website rebuilding project. Sure, my dad was visiting until 2 weeks ago, but my lack of progress on life-sustaining activities that generate income bothers me quite a lot. This is important. Why am I not motivated to do something good for myself? And the report itself, since I've eliminated people as energy as a fix to the motivation problem, I've been working on another approach to finding my work, by incorporating my natural proclivities into a kind of benchmark set of job-related tasks and roles. I started writing about job description in this post, the gist of which is recognizing that I have always disliked working by myself, and this is unlikely to change. So I'd better figure out a way to convert my self-interested personal projects into something that has broad appeal. This is a major concession to admit that I don't have enough willpower by myself to tackle those big projects solo. Awkward sentence. I suppose there is no shame in it. Additionally, I would spend some time framing what I already do every day into a part of the job description, which is I spend quite a bit of my day working on the What's Up Dave live stream and participating in our virtual co-working chat room. This creates daily continuity and a point of connection with people on the internet. I've decided to stop judging the quality of my work using goal and task-based metrics. Instead, I am starting to commit more to gathering-style productivity as my system, trusting that my natural urge to improve my lot in life will keep me roughly on track. I've found my happy bubble time mentality to be helpful as it shifts my mind from waiting for something to be done to puttering around and seeing what happens. Seeing what happens is much more interesting to me than, I think, than just plotting towards some goal. That's probably more of an important realization than I had realized at the time I wrote that. I'm going to copy this. Shifting the mind from waiting to being done into putting around to seeing what happens is probably a good thing. Publics to do. Just pasting this into this note thing. So the happy bubble time mentality is the latest productivity mechanic that I'm testing with respect to my own work. It's as easy as just ensuring that my body is in the right physical space with the right tools in front of it. In front of me. I trust that my powers of analysis will kick in and... Let's kick in one hyphen. No, it's not. And the body will be forced to follow. The body will follow. We shall see if this works. And so the preliminary evaluation, I finished the year with a bunch of new insights, but very little of the hard work on e-commerce and content management system building was completed. I was writing this when I was like really tired. Here were the original 3 directives from February 2017. Doing fulfilling creative work that pays for household expenses and research interests. Having regular energizing connections and collaborations so I won't be bored or lonely. Share what I discover, learn, and create with people who have compatible values, principles, and research interests. This is my formula, apparently, for happiness, such as I understand it. Now, I've actually done pretty well with 2 and 3, so it's 1 where I've been underperforming. That's doing the hard work stuff. I think that the success there is entirely bottlenecked by my inability to make the boring marketing materials, because I hate working online on stuff. Online and stuff? I hate working on stuff like this by myself. My inability to work by myself, stuff like boring marketing materials. The power of the re-edit. If I make any significant dent in the website. And what's this robotic? Where are these words coming from? Robotics holdup? Something must be autocorrecting. I was writing this in the notes thing. Is there an autocorrect thing in there? It shouldn't be. Text replacement. What the fuck is that? Like that. I was writing it in the note area. Maybe this is why I'm getting these weird. In the website. I have no idea what this is. Oh, it must have been other holdup in the website and other revenue related or other difficult technical projects. I'll consider myself a fortunate person. I'm going to end this draft here. I may add more detail as needed. Alright. I should have started writing this maybe on Monday, giving myself 3 days to this, so we didn't feel rushed to put this thing up there on the day. Oh well. Lesson learned. What else? I think that's about it for today. I'm going to wrap this thing up and just start to build that shelf before I head out here at 11. 21 minutes. Don't know if there's any questions that people have. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start working on that stuff and see how that goes. I will Happy Bubble Time the building of the shelf unit to build up the Happy Bubble Time video reference library. So thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. It's how many days left to Christmas? Is it next? It's not next week. It's 2 weeks. In less than 2 weeks, Christmas is here. So, and then the year is over, and then we get 2018. So much things to do. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you later. All right, this definitely is not working. I do not understand why it's only partially working. What's this thing called? Controller mate is not running. Okay, I just launched it. Now do these work? Now they work. There's some issue with this. Okay. I think it's just time to reinstall the whole OS.